if you have something you want to share, throw it in chat, and I'll try to put it up on screen, and we'll talk about it. I've been working on quite a bit the last week. You can kind of see some of it here. It's kind of blurred out. Not that I want it to be blurred out, but it just so happens that my bokeh is working out that way. But been working on I might as well say it because it's going to be out soon. Just a new mini rack, I should say, a new mini rack. I don't know how much I'll say, but new mini rack. It's actually right up there, and maybe after I release the video on the stream after that, we'll kind of walk through it up close, personal. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. That and this huge drawer you see here. This drawer right here is it's actually pretty heavy. It's all steel and wood, and fortunately, my neighbor helped out and helped me carry it up the stairs. He didn't realize what he was getting into when I said, "Hey, you got a minute to help me lift something?" Anyways, yeah, thanks to him. Thanks if you're watching. Doubt you are, but thanks for helping me get up the stairs. Anyways, so yeah, lots going on for me. As you see, probably saw, I released some stuff on Zima board. Cool little board I've been playing with for a while. It's actually running that live stream back there in the video. It's pretty cool. And I realized the other day that I can power this thing off a PoE. So I got this little PoE adapter that goes from it's a PoE pass-through with network and power. I'm going to try to power it that way. So it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know. Be here in a little while because I guess 2.5 millimeter jacks for PoE are hard to find. The 2.1s are pretty common. So anyways, but yeah, so if you have someone you want to share, throw it in chat. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to get into events here really quick right before we jump into chat. And let's see. I'm going to go back a little bit just because some of these happened relatively recent before the stream. So let's see. I'm going with Arnow, Benneth, Newless, Night Owl, Brian, Chitka, a lot. I don't know. Listen to me, Slurp Noodles, Girthquake. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Flowdash. Hey, thanks for the resub. Prime, 13 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Cleaning up my fiber lines to the garage. Got a little 2U rack that will be mounted in the closet to hold the switch and the PP. Awesome. That is awesome. So 2U rack. That is a mini. That is minier than my mini. This one's a 12U. But pretty awesome, man. Fiber to the garage. I wish I could do that. I wish I could just do fiber to my basement. It's kind of hard. I've been rethinking, especially with this, how I can get fiber to my basement. I don't have an easy way to do it from here. I have Cat 5e from here, but no easy way to get fiber. I've been debating cutting and pulling one of my Cat 5e from here and then pulling that down to the basement to get one fiber line. But I'm gonna try it on my Cat 5e again. My 10 gig works kind of okay. Doesn't always negotiate at 10 gig, and I think that's because of the length. So it kind of, I don't know. Once I get things a little bit more formalized with this mini rack up here, I'll figure it out. But anyways, that is awesome. Congrats, or hopefully you get, hopefully your fiber lines are working to the garage. I have a wireless link to the garage, and it's about, I think it negotiates at about 500 megabit, which is pretty good. For wireless and what I'm doing out to the garage. I have 3 camera streams, which is more than plenty, but still, it's nice to have a hard line when you can. Caustic, thanks for the follow. Trevor, hey, thanks for the resub. Tier 1, 20 months, 15 months streak. September, been working on Netcool in the home lab. I now have UCS alarms working in Netcool, where it gives the facility severity mnemonic. For example, UCSM3 thermal problem. Oh, nice. So you got Netcool working in your home lab, and you get alerts based on different events and event types. And looks like your UCSM3 thermal has a problem. It's overheating. I would say maybe it's too cold, but that's never the case with any electronics. Let's see. But thanks for the resub, Trevor. Appreciate it. YOLO Cholo has resub tier 1 2 months straight. Thank you so much. You are working on microtik switches for fiber, cheap and works. Nice, yeah, nice. All this talk about networking fiber, I'm with you. Man, it makes me want to get this fiber line. Anyways, so thanks for the resub tier 1 2 months. Thank you so much. Awesome, you got microtiks and got fiber going. I'm really hoping when I get this set up. I have a plan now, but you know how plans go. Don't always work out as expected. I have plans now for this mini rack up here. I have plans to try to do it over Ethernet with 10 gig. And right now I have it negotiating at 10 gig with my desktop, but that's all going to change. Going to try to get it going with this and this rack up here, and we'll see. If it doesn't, I'm definitely going to do fiber, because if I'm going to rerun anything, I'm going to just run a fiber line so that I have one Cat 5e drop coming in here and one fiber, and then I'll just cut the old fiber and use that to pull cut my old Cat 5e, one of them, to pull my fiber through. It's kind of scary doing that. So anyways, yeah, kind of scary. I'm basically going, I might be limiting myself. We'll see. Hopefully I can pull fiber kind of okay. If you have tips for pulling fiber, let me know, because I'm kind of scared pulling on one of those lines, especially through my attic. It's a little scary up there. So anyways, let's get in chat. Let's see what you guys are up to. Again, if you have something you want to share, throw it in chat, and we'll talk about it. So let's see who was here first. I was here first, but let's see who was here outside of me, because I was testing the Chubby Panda. Epic nerd time. Yeah, I totally agree. It's epic nerd time. Time to nerd out. This is my one time to nerd out publicly a week. So glad you're here with me. So I appreciate it. PC Geek, how's it going? Good to see you. Before on point. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. California, caught a live stream. Haven't caught a live stream in a long time ago. Well, awesome. Well, then that means this time is either working for you or you were able to make it. So I appreciate it. How's it going? Good to see you. Let's see. Populous Mocha. Populous Mocha. It's not always DNS. Sometimes it's Windows updates. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, on a list of things likely to happen, it's most likely DNS, then it's firewall rules, then it's updates, probably Windows updates. I hear you, but the firewall rules get me almost as much as DNS, because my DNS doesn't change, my machines normally change, and my firewall rules don't change. So it's like DNS for the most part is pretty static unless I add or change something, which is rare. Firewall rules same, mostly static is unless I change something or add something, which is rare. Machines on the network, those change quite a bit for me for testing, and so that might be it. And so maybe I'll lump in or VLANs. I mean, VLAN is, at least for me, it's a rule for me. So yeah, it gets me. But yeah, Windows updates gets me from time to time. It's been pretty okay for me. It's been pretty okay for Windows updates. I mean, I'm on 11. I know, unpopular opinion. But I'm on 11, works great. I take all the early updates or the, H22s, whatever, update 1, 2, 3. As soon as they're ready, I'm saying, give them to me. For the most part, I've been pretty okay. Every now and then it'll switch my audio device or switch my not my video card. It's usually my audio device, but that's been surprisingly stable. For a while, it was doing it every Windows update. And I don't know if that was a Go XLR issue or a Microsoft Windows Update issue. But it seemed like probably Windows because nothing else changed. So, but yeah, hopefully you figured it out. I don't know. Bram. I'm going with Bram. Working on my university graduation project. Awesome. Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully you figure it out. Let's see. Woody. Hey Tim, how's it going? California. I want to figure out how to have my entire Proxmox server be on a power schedule to power off at certain times. Advice, where to start. Hey, this is surprisingly easier than you would think it would be. So two things. I'll go with the least complicated way. It's a little more manual, but it should work. So I've done this before, and I still do this with one of my machines. It's not Proxmox, but the OS doesn't matter. OS doesn't matter for this first. No, for either approach. So my approach, the easiest way, is first you need to wake things up. Then you need to shut things down. Sounds easy, right? So on the wake up piece, you have two options. The easy approach is to do it in your BIOS. Most BIOS support wake on alarm, right? So they'll wake on alarm. You set that alarm to, I don't know, 5 p.m. And then it'll turn on every day at 5 p.m. Local time according to your BIOS. So that's one way of doing it. BIOS has an alarm. Super easy. Doesn't take anything except for you shutting it down, going in the BIOS, say wake up at this time every time. The other semi-easy way is to have another machine wake that machine up with Wake on LAN. I've done that too. So you have a tiny little Raspberry Pi or a low power device or something that's on all the time, even your network firewall router, if it has a Wake on LAN client, you can schedule a Wake on LAN packet to be sent to that machine and wake it up over the network. Little less reliable. It's reliable once you figure it out and you get the right client and you get everything working right. But it's a little less reliable because there's a little more complexity, right? You got to get the client, you got to get the MAC address, you got to make sure that machine is always on too to wake the other machine up. So I would go with the alarm. If you know, hey, every day I can count on this machine to be on at, 5 p.m., that's what I go, BIOS alarm. Then on the shutdown side, super easy. Cron job, cron task that says shut down at this time. All the time, every day. And you schedule that in software in your operating system. So do that as a cron job. Cron job, shut down, force, yes, shut down. So you can always count on your machine being down at this time and up at this time. And that should work. That's what I do on one of my machines. I've even gone a little crazy. And I set that alarm. So I have some servers that are always on, as you guys may too. I have 3 servers that should always be on, no matter what. And so in the BIOS, even though I plan on never shutting them down, I have an alarm to turn them on at midnight every day. And that's just in case. That's my escape hatch. Like either, hey, I'm out of town. I accidentally shut this thing down, although I have other ways to power things on. That's my escape hatch to say, okay, if I accidentally shut down this machine, I have absolutely no way of getting into it. I know at midnight tonight it's going to turn on. So, and that can bite you. Don't forget that that's there. Then there's a third way, the most complicated way, even more complicated than that, is go all in with IoT or get a smart PDU to toggle those things on and off. But most of the time, the thing that you're trying to toggle on and off also requires, I don't know, maybe some kind of connection that's running on that machine. But anyways, you can go smart PDU route, smart plug route, and do it that way too. That's a little bit more advanced, and it costs money for the hardware. And on top of that, it's a little more risky. You could actually accidentally toggle it off with an app or whatever, however you want to do it, or with code like I do, and then accidentally shut down the machine. And it's not a safe shutdown either. It's a hard shutdown. So I would recommend doing that as a cron job. So yeah, good question. I've done a lot of that, a lot of different ways. Those are the 3 ways I'd approach it. Alarm first in BIOS, followed by a cron job to shut down. Wake on LAN from another machine, followed by a cron job to shut down, or smart PDU, smart switch, which will get you powered on, and then a cron job to turn off, or you just hard shut down the machine, which I don't recommend. So yeah, that should work. Yeah, good question. I like this. Got my brain going. It's not early, but I've been doing a lot of thinking about other things. So yeah. California, let me know. Those 3 should get you on the right path. PC Geek working on eating this chicken finger sub. All right, I like it. Chicken finger sub. You mean homelab? Probably should update some things. Been too long since I checked all my servers for updates, and would love to get Ansible Semaphore fully working. Having trouble with user and SSH keys right now. Awesome. Yeah, so I wish I had a chicken finger sub. That sounds pretty good. Fried chicken and some bread. Yeah, slap some mayo and cheese and lettuce on it and tomato and onion. Yeah, you got yourself a good little snack. For me, that would be a snack. But yeah, so hope you figure it out. I know that setting up Ansible Semaphore can be somewhat complicated, especially with exactly what you mentioned, SSH keys and users. But yeah, getting auto updates and auto patching that way, basically running an Ansible job on a schedule to get automatic patching and updating sounds pretty awesome. Still run my manual though. Still run my manual only because because I got to take things down. If I need to take things down or reboot them, I need to make sure that I'm doing it versus something else. But yeah, I totally get why you do it. Let's see. I missed a couple things. Let me pull this up real quick. Hey, real quick, Greg Wargamer, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Carrie, for you, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. And Thusi Enthusiast Gaming. Ooh, Thusi Enthusiast Gaming. A Prime sub. Hey, thanks so much for spending a Prime sub on me. Thank you. Let's see. Sinvi. Working on learning DevOps. Got super into it because of your videos. Any good DevOps books or learning resources? Oh yeah. Well, thank you. Awesome. It's awesome you're going down that path. DevOps is just a huge topic there, and many companies consider it many different things, and it can be done many different ways. And you can take it extreme, or you can be, pragmatic about it, and you can do it all at once, or you can do it a little bit at a time. As far as learning resources go, as far as books are concerned, I'm not sure. Because, like I said, like a lot of companies and a lot of platforms consider it different things, especially if you say, hey, I'm going to do Azure DevOps, or I'm going to do DevOps for this company, XYZ, or I'm going to do DevOps for this startup company. They all mean drastically different things. So I would recommend, I learned by watching and by doing. First watching to see if it's something I want to attempt, and then doing is replicating that in my home lab, in my setup. So that's my approach. YouTube. I recommend YouTube only because there are so many topics out there, and help you drill into what you want. And their algorithm, YouTube's algorithm, like it or love it, it's still gonna find. Google search on YouTube is pretty good, so it's gonna find you maybe the most relevant stuff that you're looking for. I would say start there, and then hone in, and because it depends on your platform, depends on whoever you're working for, how they define DevOps too. So, but yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoy it. It's definitely the biggest rabbit hole I've ever been down, and I don't even do it professionally. I mean, I kind of did it at startup I work at. I get involved. I'll say that. And I built a lot of the pipelines at the previous startup that I worked at, and a lot of it. So I like it. I like it quite a bit. Just Keys Sorsese. All right. I'm going to skip it. Working on my TrueNAS setup, went foobar after the latest update. Disks are visible in TrueNAS, but pool is offline. So far, no luck. That is a bummer. I also did update TrueNAS yesterday because I saw that they had the update available for Scale for the community version, and I went on Scale and updated that. It went fine for me. I don't know if you're using Scale or not, but that stinks. Your pool's offline. So yeah. You could try to reconnect it. I'm sure you have. You can try to re-import it again. I'm sure you have. You can always try to roll back the firmware to the previous version. So when you boot, your boot menu should show all firmware versions or all releases, and you could attempt to go back to the previous release. I'm betting, though, that it probably doesn't have something to do with the update, and it may have been an existing condition that was there that only surfaced when you rebooted. So I could be wrong. But I would attempt that. Worst case scenario, if it happened to me, what would I do after trying to get my pool back online and it's offline and it won't work? I would, make sure that all disks are available to TrueNAS, that I could see them. Then I would shut the machine down. I wouldn't reboot. I would shut it down, let it all power down. I would power it back on. I'd probably go in the BIOS or something, in the BIOS to make sure that all disks are showing up to the BIOS. Then I would boot. I'd start it again. I would start, again, normally. If the disks are still offline, I would shut it back down, start again, and then revert to the previous version in your boot menu and see if that fixes it. If not, that's tough. Then you got to do some recovery. I hope you figure it out. because recovering, TrueNAS, one, I've never had to do it. I've been fortunate enough to always swap out disks if they die, or import, my pools onto other machines if the machines die. So I hope you figure it out, because most people have a lot. If you're running TrueNAS, that most likely means you have a lot of data that you want to keep. So I hope you figure it out. Woody, here, let me grab a ship real quick. Woody, let's see. What kind of amazing stuff have you built lately? Well, kind of that. I mean, I don't know how amazing that is. Let me think. What kind of amazing stuff? One, I've been kind of redoing. I'll say my studio. I call it my office, but it's really, it's like anyone. It's a spare bedroom that it converted to my office, to my studio, and now it's starting to feel more like a studio because I'm starting to get more things in here and ways to film things. So that's what I've been working on, is kind of redoing a lot of the stuff in here, a little bit rearranging, getting this huge mobile workshop up here. I still can't believe my neighbor and I lifted this thing to get this up to the second floor. I mean, the thing probably weighs a good 300 pounds, if not more, because it's all steel and wood, and I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it'd be a little bit smaller and lighter, but it's actually perfect. And I have an old Minnesota home, so I'm on the second floor, and that's where I film, and that's where it needs to go. So anyways, that's what I've been working on. I've been working on this mini rack back here, because that mini rack is going to be in here in my office. And then on top of that, I got a lot of stuff. Once I get that going, I got some more stuff coming. So that's what I've been working on. I feel like a lot of hardware lately. I need to get back into software, but I have some cool stuff coming up I'm super excited about. And I really am really excited about things I'm working on and people I'm working with coming up here soon. So I can't say much, but it's going to be fun. And there's a lot of hardware back there sprinkled around that you can't really see that I've been testing too. So cool stuff coming. I think it's cool stuff. Cool stuff. Let's see. Zendy. That's what I'm going. Zendy. I'm trying to fix VLANs. A lot of MikroTik devices and attached Proxmox servers I have correctly configured. Firewall and forward to and from. Oh, so trying to fix VLANs. Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I will say, like, I have some VLAN rules that it took a while to figure out. I mean, it's just a lot of testing. And when you think you got it, test it. Test it both ways too. If you configure a VLAN and you say, hey, everyone on this VLAN can get to the other VLAN, but no one on that VLAN can get to this VLAN, make sure you test those rules. Because one, that's the reason why you're putting time into it. And two, you'll probably never check it again unless something goes wrong. I mean, that's how it is with me. And that's why I test things as soon as I set them up, because I know that, like, I'm never going to go back and really check unless something goes wrong. So setting up VLANs and you're setting up firewall rules, make sure you test them thoroughly. Both sides, as the sender and as the receiver, whatever your rule says, test it from both ways. Because, again, you'll probably never test them again unless you go back and you have a problem, which is when I test them again. I've peed. Yeah, me too. Joey Lockey. I just set up not a Lenovo ThinkCentre Tiny Intel with Proxmox. I currently have Home Assistant running, but I'm looking at adding other things to learn. First time using Proxmox. And then now that HA is there, I need to find a use for my Pi. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I hear you. So it looks like you graduated from a Pi to a machine, desktop class, at least, minimally, processor. So awesome. Yeah, I have a hard time finding things for some of my Pis too. Now, I have a 3B and I think a 4A that is no longer being used. I mean, they're there for testing just in case, but yeah, I hear you. It's awesome to have them, but once you outgrow them, then it's kind of like you need to find another project for them, and it's that niche sweet spot. Like how do I find something that needs to be on 24/7 or needs a very specific power requirement, but doesn't, outgrow that requirement. It's tough. Sorry about the shaking. I got to shift. Hey, Chubby Panda has resubbed Prime 2 months, 1 month streak. Woo woo. Keep keep doing you, Tim. Hey, thanks. I'm gonna try and keep doing me until I can't do me anymore. It's getting weird, but thank you. I appreciate it. Chubby Panda, speaking of, I postponed my Kubernetes dive in favor of implementing OIDC for Docker mail server. Oh, all right. So, wow. Hey, that's totally fine. You might find that it might be better suited in Kubernetes one day. We'll see. But I would recommend getting something complicated like that. Yeah, set up in Docker maybe first. You have to deal less with networking when you use Docker for the most part. If you're a single host Docker machine, you just basically, you're going to bind to a port and that's it. So a little bit easier to set up because less networking. But wow, you're going all in mail server. You have to let me know how that works out. I considered self-hosting my mail for a hot second for fun. And then I realized, well, my quote unquote business email address probably is best suited somewhere else. Not necessarily because I wouldn't have a good uptime, but more so that, I think that whoever, a mail hoster, will probably be better at hosting it than I am. And plus my stuff wouldn't get marked as spam either, going out because it'd be coming from some weird IP. But you'll have to let me know how it goes. Maffney. Hey, how's it going, Maffney? Tier 1, 33 months. 33-month streak. Thank you so much. 33 is a nice number. I agree. 33 is a nice number. Hello, Tim. Maffney, how's it going? How are you doing? Are you still waiting for your master's thesis, I think, to get evaluated? Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. Populous Mocha. Howdy, Tim. Loving the lunch break streams today on Friday. For homelab, I had a Windows update and a cert expire on traffic yesterday, so it's got me thinking about managing those types of things, patch, scheduling, cert maintenance, key rotation, etc. I also need to update a bunch of containers on OpenSense. Wish me luck. Yeah, so it sounds like a bunch of updates. Yeah, a bunch of updates. Hey, I'm all for updates. I like patching containers or replacing containers with newer versions of containers, I should say. I'm a huge fan of that. I do it automatically with some help from GitOps with RenovateBot. And then, yeah, the top one is traffic. So traffic cert expired. So that means your automatic updates or your renewal bot or schedule wasn't working on traffic, which is unfortunate because that should be working, as part of well, it depends on where you're getting your certificates from. But the certbot piece on cert manager, or not cert manager, because you're maybe not using Kubernetes, but on traffic with Let's Encrypt should be automatic. And so you can look at the logs and I bet it's a token. 100% it has to be a token, or you never set it up, which would still be your token. But yeah, I would check and look at the logs, and it's probably in the logs been saying it's failing for a long time, because it'll attempt, I think, within two weeks of ending. I think it's either 2 weeks or 30 days. It'll attempt, and it'll keep failing. So that's probably a good segue into you should check your logs on stuff, especially on traffic. If you're setting it up for the first time and you got your first cert, look at the logs to make sure. Don't call that done. Make sure, you check the logs in that container to make sure that, nothing's going wrong, especially when you start getting within the 2-week period. I'm at the point where all of mine have rotated, I'd say like 10 times, and I have like 8 certificates through Let's Encrypt. They've all rotated and updated fine. So now it's at the point where I just don't even check. But what you could do and should do probably too is have some kind of certificate check, uptime checker. So Uptime Kuma, if you're using it, or any uptime checker, most uptime checkers should have a checkbox or something that says also, validate certificate or evaluate the certificate or something like that. And so if you have uptime checks or health checks on that service, it will, when it checks the uptime, it'll also look at the expiration for the certificate and let you know if it's going to expire soon. So, hey, yeah. So if you're using Uptime Kuma, make sure you check that checkbox to say, check the certificate too. And warn me if it's going to expire. Now, what I would do in the beginning is, set it to something really high so that it gives you some lead time to actually fix the service or fix traffic or whatever it is that's getting your certificates. Gives you some lead time to replace that certificate. And then once you see that it's working, put it, within something reasonable, a week or something. So lower than the refresh time so that okay, if I'm getting an alert from Uptime Kuma or my Uptime monitor system about my certificate expiring in a week, I know that the process that I have to renew that certificate is broken because it should have updated by now. So I would check that checkbox or whatever, because that's free and easy. If you're already checking a service and it has HTTPS, make sure you're checking the certificate expiry too. So, yeah, good one. These are sparking some good ideas. I hope you figure it out. Gubgogity, DGD. I'm going with DGD. Hey, hope you're doing great. Stuck at work late today, so unfortunately I won't be able to stay, but hope you're having a fun stream. I am having a fun stream. Thank you. Cinvi. Oh, and downsizing my homelab because power. Spent $600 on a power bill alone. Yeah, that's a lot. And I hear you. I know exactly what you mean. I spend a lot of power too. I mean, not only for homelab stuff, like look at the lights in here and I got this monstrous PC on here and now I'm full work from home and, my wife is too mostly and air conditioning and it's extra hot. Yeah, I hear you. And I went to sleep last night thinking, could I power 2 of my 1U servers off of 2 of my Intel NUCs? That's what I was thinking about as I was going to sleep last night. So I have to do the math. And when I say do the math, it means compute and RAM and look at my stuff. And so I might try to flex some stuff around. We'll see. So I'm there with you too. Cause hey, saving money it's pretty high on my priority list in general. So yeah, I hear you. Hey, Aid and ICSL Pizzaco. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. But I hear you. Modest Tim. Hey, how's it going? Hey, brother. Yeah, brother and name too. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, you two. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Melodork. Hey, I've got an old HP server that my company was going to get rid of. Tried to install Proxmox, but struggling on it with the Ethernet card. Yeah, that sounds to me like it's an old Ethernet card that doesn't have drivers for Debian, which is odd. Because Debian's usually pretty stable, has a long tail on the support for hardware. So yeah, I mean that's got to be it. I would look up, see what NIC is supported on there and Google, hey, Debian drivers for this specific NIC. And if it's not supported, then you're in a tough place. And then, worst case scenario, you go and get a PCIe NIC, or a quad NIC or whatever kind of NIC for $10-20 to replace it with. But hope you figure it out. Bram, do you Twitch stream just once a week? Yeah, I do. Just once a week. Brandon Airing, hey, how's it going? Okay, so I'm late, only here for a hot sec. What's going on behind you? Yeah, I explained it a couple of times. I'll have more on it lately, but tinkering with this idea with a mini rack. I'm shrinking my rack. I'm adding a shrunken rack. How about that? Hi, chat. How's it going? Mini rack project. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Gotta head out. Hey, Brandon Aaron. Good to see you, man. Trevor. Hey, how's it going? Vegas weather. It's too hot in the garage. Yeah, man. That's exactly what I was going for. Yeah, Southwest, Vegas, that whole area. Oh my gosh. It is hot over there. It's hot everywhere. I think. You name it. Spain, China, US, Japan, everywhere. It is hot. Even not in Australia. Or anyone in the southern hemisphere, but northern hemisphere folks are getting burnt up. Let's see. Hot in the garage, I bet. Yeah, 101. Woo-wee. That's hot. That is hot for sure. That is hot, and we got some heat coming. I mean, it's going to be, I think, 90s here next week, but very humid. I'm talking like Amazon, rainforest humid. So I know you guys get a dry heat out there. It's a little bit different. 101 hot, no matter how you slice it, but mid-90s plus a lot of humidity is going to suck around here because I hate the humidity and I hate the heat. So in general, I'd take snow over this kind of heat any day. Any day. Let's see. Someday, can you do a video on your YouTube setup? YOLO Cholo. Hey, I already did. It's an older one. A lot of it still applies, but yeah, maybe again in the future sometime. Seagore, Home Assistant says it's only 85 in Northwest Virginia. Yeah, that's only 85. It's pretty warm. It's 80 here. Modest Tim, if you run a fiber line, you should get twine and pull the new line with fiber to keep it in the walls for new. Yeah, next time. Good call. I do think, yeah, I think you just gave me another idea. While I can't do twine this time, maybe I shouldn't use the cat. Maybe I shouldn't cut and pull just in case. Maybe I should just unterminate at the wall and then fish down, pull up some twine, then get my fiber and then connect twine to that to leave that in its place. But I even though, yes, I agree, I should have left twine the last time. Electrician helped me out with this pole that's right behind here. But I think you gave me an idea of maybe I shouldn't cut and pull my old Cat 5e, because if something goes wrong, I could just reconnect my Cat 5e. Maybe I should just pull and do a new pull. But I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. But yeah, good point. Next time, twine. Those are the things like you think like, yeah, I probably should. I'll never do it again. And now here I am doing it again. And I hear you. Hey, Night Owl Brian, Risa Prime, 10 months. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, Tim. Hey, Night Brown. That is hard for me to say. Night Owl Brian. I want to say Night Brow. Night Owl Brian. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, you too. Let's see. Caustic. Do you still use Loki for log collection aggregation? How do you like it? Is there anything you wish it does that it didn't do? Yes, I still do. Do I still like it? I like it. Is there anything it does that I wish it would do? So for me, so I still use it. I like it. It's better. I feel like it's better than the alternatives that are out there for cloud native stuff, for a container first stuff. I know that Graylog's out there. I used to use Graylog. Not a great fit for a container first type of stuff. Not a great fit at all for Kubernetes type stuff. Maybe they'll have, I don't know, maybe they have a different kind of collector or whatever. I do like it because for me, the alternative then is, full blown like Elastic, search. And I don't want to run like Elastic at home. So I think Loki's a good fit. I think it's a great lightweight alternative to something like, a big, Elasticsearch type, endeavor that I would go down and all the resources I need for that. And I know it can be done, at a smaller scale, but it was just something that I thought fit right in with what I was already doing, which was Grafana and Prometheus. So, anything I wish I could change? I don't know. The query searching sometimes kind of stinks, like kind of knowing their query. I mean, that's going to happen with a lot of different log aggregators. You're going to have to learn their query language. String searching, totally easy. Quote a string, got to find it, magic string. But as soon as you want to do something like this date range, or the pod contains this label name, or the deployment or a service or something like that, it gets kind of tricky. So, but you'll have that with anything you go with. So, no, overall, I've been pretty great for home. The alternatives maybe in the enterprise might be better, and alternatives in the cloud are probably better. Like a lot of cloud offerings offer something that I think is usually better because it's tailored to that specific cloud, and they're trying to make it really easy for operators to actually find logs and create alerts and create metrics from it. And that's something else too that this is going into more like cloud logging, cloud monitoring. Once you get there, you have a lot more tools to create up alerts, to create alerts, to create metrics, and that's how I use like GCP. Like, you find a log, you're like, hey, when this error happens in the log, I want to create a metric or create an alert based off this log. And so it's super easy to do with I won't say like other tools, but with like cloud type tools to say, hey, next time you see this log, send me an alert because I want to know, because this means something is definitely wrong. And so, those types of things, setting those up in Prometheus along with Loki are kind of tough. So, but yeah, good question. Flowdash, fiber is a lot stronger than the average person thinks. We pull a lot at work, 24 strand fiber. It takes a lot to break it. All right, so I can give it a good yank. I won't give it a good yank. I was just like, how how strong is it? I've never pulled it myself. I've strung it carefully, like through my basement to get from my fiber box through to my mini data center server room, and I was very careful with it. But I never know how strong it is. And I guess you're saying, hey, it's stronger than most people think. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna hop around. YOLO Cholo, when you have a list of issues in your home lab, how are you tracking them? Self-managed Jira, GitLab issues? Yeah, good question. I used to, yeah, this is a good question. So I used to just keep it in my mind. I still kind of do, because I have a lot of things I need to track. And so lately I've been using for things I need to track for a long time. It was a GitHub issue, but then I was like, I'm kind of mixing like personal stuff along with this GitHub issue tracker. And then I started using Trello, which Trello is super easy. And, it's just create a whole bunch of cards. You basically get a Kanban board and think of them like Post-it notes, create some columns, and you're done. And lately, things are beginning a little bit more complicated than that because now I'm working for myself and I got a lot going on, more than just home lab stuff, whatever, you name it. And I kind of wanted one place to do stuff. And so I've been playing with ClickUp lately. Now, ClickUp is pretty cool, and there are some things that need some work. So I'm not recommending you go out and use ClickUp. I think for most people, for issue tracking, GitLab, GitHub, wherever that repo is for your stuff is going to be good enough. It's going to be good enough. If you want something a little more visual and a little more portable and with a little more utility for more things than just home lab stuff, Trello's pretty good. If you want to graduate from there, you have a couple of options. It's going to be Jira or it's going to be something like ClickUp. And I think that both of those are pretty good. I feel like ClickUp is like a step before Jira. I don't know. I had a hard time just going in with full-blown Jira for some of my stuff because I see how it's used at work and at other places. And I don't feel like I'm to that level of product management or project management yet. So I've been playing around with ClickUp. Might go back to Trello. We'll see. The jury's still out. But I think ClickUp does a lot of things right. And it gives me more than what I need for Trello. But for most people, and if you're only doing home lab, my first recommendation is if you have a GitLab repo or a GitHub repo, do it there. If you're going to do more than just home lab stuff, let's say, hey, I need to go sell something on eBay. Maybe that's considered home lab, but it has nothing to do with the code repo that you're on. It's kind of what I got into. That's where I went to Trello because I'm like, okay, well, now I can manage home lab tasks, software and hardware-based tasks, tag them, and then I can do like, hey, I need to sell this hardware or whatever, do something outside of, my home lab, but it's still technical or my personal stuff, and I could tag it that way. So that's when I went with Trello. Now I'm with ClickUp, and I don't know what's going on or where I'll be next. So, but yeah, good question. It's still up in the air. I've tossed it out a few times in our Discord. Like, hey, what is everyone using for this type of stuff? Sigor, we had a big rain around 3 a.m., so it's much nicer today than the rest of the week has been. Yeah, that is nice. That is nice. We could use some rain. It's weird here in Minnesota, at least here where I'm at. Like, rain, they always say it's going to rain. It never does. I feel like we're in, like, some weird, I don't know. Like, we're in some weird bubble where there's, we're in a city bubble where the rain starts to come from outside, from rural areas, and as soon as it gets to this city bubble with all of this cement, it just dissipates. Every time. Every storm you see, oh, we're going to get hit, and you see it moving, and then I'll do it this way, because it comes from, I'll do it this way. Big storm coming, it sees Minneapolis, and then it splits in two, and it just goes above and below us. It's because, like, we're in this weird, there's a term for it, but we're in this weird, like, I don't know, cement, urban jungle thing. Anyway, let's see, Brink, for pulling fiber, if pulling through conduit, yeah, look at the Fluke's cable lube. It helps a lot and doesn't break down the sheathing. Also, if you're pulling just cable, look up fiber pulling eyes. Yeah, look up that. Yeah, conduit is definitely the way to go. It's what I should have had the electrician run. Just, hey, throw some conduit down there, and that would have been awesome. Because then I could almost just like vacuum it up. I still don't know if I'm going to go there, but these are great tips. Great tips. Keep it coming. Trevor, I use Jira, and I've tried to use Netcool where I have an alarm. I can right-click on the alarm, open the Jira ticket for Netcool. Yeah, I had to learn the API for Jira. LOL. Yeah, that's cool. So another good point of using something more, more enterprises that you get APIs, and they'll tie into other systems. So you could say, hey, like you did, you could say, you could have some integration, right? Your Netcool has an alert, that might email you, but maybe you won't see that, and maybe you will. But then how do you prioritize that thing? And how do you get it into your workflow? Well, you have it open a Jira ticket for you, and then you say, okay, now I can track this thing and then fix it. And which is pretty cool because then you get history, you get lineage, and you know everything about it. So yeah, absolutely. Great use case, I guess, for Jira for homelab stuff too. Yeah, for sure. And I know that GitLab, a lot of places have Jira integration because it's just there for sure. Yeah. YouTube has a lot of great videos on how to pull fiber. That's how I learned. Yeah, that's how I learned most stuff too. I went down a rabbit hole of networking stuff the other day. Stumbled on a new channel. And I was like, oh, this is good stuff. But yeah, for sure. Almost time for me to start sending out mass amount of emails from change management at work. Oh yeah, get on them. Let's see, Greg Wargamer. First time here. I'm going to get 8 gig fiber soon for my house because it's pretty dang cheap here in Europe. Don't know if I can ask for recommendations, but does anyone know a good 10 gigabit switch with 2.5 gigabit ports? Yeah, that's tough. I mean, if you're it depends on what you want. If you're, I would say join our Discord. Ask in there in networking or hardware because people will know. People have great recommendations. And it really depends on what you're going to use it for. If you have an existing ecosystem, if you're wanting, cheap, used, or newer, more expensive. That's what it boils down to. And I say this a lot, but it all depends on I don't know if it's numerator or denominator. I will say it's denominator. Depends on your denominator, right? Like what is the thing you're going to divide the cost by, or your cost in general. Like if you're based on the value that you're going to get out of it, and most people recommendations are going to be with their lens, and if cost is your denominator, then I think there are great options out there for used. But that's getting tough because 2.5 is in a weird spot because 2.5 is newer, 10 gigs easier to find. But maybe you want an aggregator that's just like all SPF, but then you got to buy the interposers or the GBICs and stuff like that, and that adds up very quick. So I would say toss it in Discord and let's talk about it because I would love to know too. Franchise, received my wife's old MacBook Air and install Kubuntu on it. Awesome, yeah. Macs Intel-based Macs are great for Linux. They are great for Linux, and mainly because Apple's not going to be supporting them soon. But it is great for Linux for sure. I'll be in that boat here soon. Even my wife's old iMac that still gets Catalina updates doesn't get any newer updates, so that will have Linux on there soon. Sinvi, what are you using to bring chat messages to your stream? Super cool. Never seen anything like it. I'm using this thing called Twidget. It's expired. It's deprecated, but it still works for me. I tried something else a couple of weeks ago that is almost perfect, but there's one thing that stops me from using it, and it's the auto scrolling of chat, which makes it super hard for me to figure out where I was in the last message I clicked on and showed. I like this. I like the other one better than this one. This one is great. But it doesn't show emojis, doesn't show avatars or anything like that. But hey, it works, right? And maybe you guys don't care about that. I do. I like seeing emojis and avatars. The other one just auto scrolls chat, and so I spend more time trying to figure out where I am in chat than I do actually reading chat. So, anyways, I talked to the developer. I sent him a message. He said he's got some good things coming out. Hey, the ball's in his court because he never responded. So I'm waiting for him to respond back on what these great things are that are coming and if they address my issue. Because I'm sure that, I don't know, I'm not alone, for people who want to do this. This feature, I think, is pretty common. Just don't auto-scroll chat. Just leave it alone. Or have a button to toggle auto-scroll on and off. Anyways, thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, franchise, thanks for the bits, man. 100 bits. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Bubbles of Love, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Welcome. Trevor, no, not yet. It's mainly just creating tickets and working by myself. I hear you. I kind of do the same thing too. So I try to bring enterprise at home if you can't tell. So enterprise systems, I kind of want at home too, especially with work management type stuff. I don't want to go full all in. I'm not going to do planning poker and all that stuff that some people still do in software development, or even have planning sessions. Or product owners or anything like that. But I do like a work management system to be able to say, here's what's on my plate. Here are all the possibilities. Here's what I'm going to do next. Here's what I'm working on now. And here's what's done. And so those things are important to me. And that's why I went to Trello. I needed a little bit more out of Trello. So I went to ClickUp. But who knows? I could go full-blown Jira next. Who knows? Who knows? Franchise, also swapping my mid-tower PC case for a full tower. Deciding things are getting way too tight in a mid-tower. Yeah, been there. I go back and forth with that type of thing. I'm going to go small, go big, go tiny, go huge, go low power, go more power. I hear you, though. I hear you. And it's fun. It's fun either way. I feel like I've gone small with mini ITX stuff a lot, and then I end up a couple years later expanding anyway. So I'm like, okay, why did I do that? It was fun while it lasted. But I mean, if you're gonna say like building a dedicated thing, right? Building a dedicated gaming PC that's mini ITX. Well, I mean, there's only so many things you're gonna put in there anyways, and it's like, okay, a video card and hard drive, and obviously you have the rest, but a lot of it's not gonna change. But when you start getting into servers or things that could change a couple years down the road, and you're still going to have it, that's where it's a tough call for me to go mini ITX. And I've even gone one step further. For me now, I'm kind of like, I'm going to rack mount stuff, and I know that seems wild. It's part of the reason why I have this, but putting everything in one compact place where I don't have to worry about shelving. And I'm not trying to change your mind. Don't take this as advice. Just as my thought process. I used to have a lot of, a desktop PC, this PC, and I got to a point where, cables and cords and even just stacking got a little bit complicated. So the easiest way for me to compartmentalize all that things, literally, is put it in a compartment, like a server rack. And then it's like, okay, everything's in one spot, cable management already solved, and go from there. So you do pay a tax, but it's nice for me personally to have things organized in one spot. So, but yeah, we'll see how it works out. I'm taking another plunge here soon. Night Owl Brian, thank you so much. 100 bits, thank you. I like the tabletop you have behind you. Can you link it? Yeah, I can link this thing. It's I can't link it now. I'll shoot out in Discord. It's a mobile workstation. It's actually a big toolbox. It's a heavy duty toolbox, and I was able to get it up here with my neighbor. I already said that, but he and I lifted it up here. It's heavy duty. I mean, think of a toolbox you would have in your garage, like a mobile workstation toolbox, and it's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool to have that to be able to work on and kind of roll around in here and to lift things up too. That's something I didn't even think of. Like, this was going to be storage over there. Well, as I was building this, I was like, this is great. I don't have to lay on the ground. I can stand and build this thing right here. So it actually worked out pretty good. So yeah, I'll link it. I'll link it in Discord if you're interested, for sure. Remind me. I need to set a reminder. But I will. I'll link it in Discord. I can't link stuff here, but I will for sure. But thank you. I will. It's pretty awesome, and you might be able to pick it up from a local retailer today. I got it from Home Depot, and it's pretty awesome. I had to drive 30 miles roughly to get it from a Home Depot that had it in stock because I wanted the white version. I'm a weirdo, and I wanted the white. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are going to put a white version in their garage, but this wasn't going in my garage, and they have all different colors, and it was pretty awesome. Yolo Cholo, I'm using Jira for the most part. Gonna move to Jira Cloud since Jira is often the local infra if the local infra goes down. Yeah, Jira Cloud is pretty good. It's pretty good. I've used all sorts of versions of Jira over the years. Some hacked custom versions forked from enterprise versions that enterprise hosted to the cloud. And I will say, if you use the cloud version mostly as intended, it works great. It works great. I could look into automation where the tally field is a certain number and change the tick status to 5, where Netcool takes the events and runs the policy in Jira and uses the API to create a ticket. Yeah, I see what you mean. So if you could trigger it to create a ticket if the events tick to 5. So if you had 5 of these events within a certain time period, yeah, create a ticket. Yeah, I like it. I like it because that would stop the like the wavering or the fluctuating. Say you had something that was on the brink of a certain temperature and you're like, hey, go off. It'd be cool. I think it'd be cool if you'd set a range though. Only alert me if it crosses this threshold and stays there for a certain period of time. But yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's see. Sigor, I pulled regular Cat 6A cables at our property before drywall was installed. It was hard enough. Can't imagine how people pull it after everything is done. Yeah. Yeah. So I did that. I wired this whole house. I'll say whole house. The rooms that matter that I cared about with Cat 5e, because this was probably about 8 years ago, and Cat 5e was cheap, and I thought, I'll never need 10 gig. Gigabit is good enough. And for the most part, it is. For the most part, for most home users, it is. And then for the most part, for most home users, wireless is good enough. But I have different needs than most people. So I pulled Cat 5e. It was actually pretty okay. I got lucky because I had an electrician fixing a lot of our wiring, and I said, "Hey, by the way, can you drop these down while you're up there to the same hole that you're doing the electricity?" He was like, "Yeah, it was no problem." Well, I if I could go back, I would have said Cat 6. That would have Cat 6A. That would have future-proofed myself quite a bit. But I am able to get 10 gig on my Cat 5e that I have now. It's just I need to do some more testing. I feel like it doesn't always negotiate properly. And I don't know if this is a Windows thing or if it's the actual cable. I haven't been able to test it, but as I put in more stuff here in a little bit, I'll be able to test it. Because I'll have a 10 gig uplink to my other switch, and then I'll really know, where's the problem, So anyways, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Hey, dude, Night Owl, dude, thank you so much. Night Owl gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Dude, thank you so much, Night Owl Brian. So SME Productions, Populus, Mocha, Digital Phoenix Franchise, and Brockhart. Enjoy your gifted sub from Night Owl Brian. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it so much. Dang. Thank you. I appreciate it, Brian. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. I have time for probably one more. I'm going to look for one that's probably pretty complicated and that, like I usually do, I say, this one looks good, and it turns into like a 5-minute conversation. Let's see. I'm going to go here. Here we go. I'm just gonna go with this one because I saw it, and maybe I'll choose another one. Night Owl Brown. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Let's see. So frankly bagged. I wish there was a better option for rack mount, smaller or more modular system. Rack is the best way I have found, but is also a pain sometimes. LOL. Man, it was like I planted you here. It is like I planted you here for the last comment for what's going on behind me. This is coming soon. So I'm building this mini rack behind me. This mini rack has been a joy to build. So I built a big rack, a 36U. And that might not be big to some, but hey, it's pretty big for me. 36U built it from flat pack, and so that thing took a better part of the day, if not all day. I can't remember. There's probably a lot of swearing involved, but it took a long time. This thing, at most, took me, 30 minutes to put together, and it is pretty awesome. And so it's a mini version of my existing rack, and it's pretty cool, and it's pretty affordable too. I'm pretty surprised. So I'll have a video on that coming soon. If you're like, I like racks, but most of them are aggravating and hard to put together and not flexible at all, I think that this one addresses a lot of those concerns, and I appreciate you throwing that out there. Dude, Night Owl Brian, thank you so much. Oh man, again. Thank you so much. 5 tier 1 subs gifted. Dude, thank you. I appreciate it, man. So, hey, Fairchild, Lord Harlock, Git Day, TFCPT, and the Turd. Enjoy your gifted sub from Night Owl Brian. Dude, thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Never required, but always appreciated. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Dude, thank you again. The man was not kidding. Yeah, let's see. The man was not kidding. We'll end on this. So the man was not kidding when he wrote RGB enabled in his title. Lol. No, it is definitely RGB enabled, and you can control it with channel points below. You have things you can redeem. You can change the lights in here. There's 5 themes that you can choose from, and you can actually change the lights in here. So you can even turn most of them off or turn most of them full blast. You can go crazy with it. So, hey, Night Owl, dude, thank you so much. 100 bits, thank you so much. Don't forget to play some games in between lab projects. Balance is key. I agree, Night Owl Brian. I wish I could. And I was just talking about this on Tuesday. Someone asked me what games I'm playing, and I said none. It's tough. So now that this is kind of my primary job, I have a little bit more time. I decided I'm not doing 2 jobs full time. I'm doing 2 jobs part time each. So 1 full time person. So maybe I'll have some more time. I actually did play. I spun up some random retro game, or not retro game. I should say newer, but retro-ish style game. I think 2 weeks ago, and played for it a little bit. Played it all the way through because it was just a short game, like a mobile game, and it was actually awesome. It was one of the best games I played in a long time, which is probably true because it's the only game I played in a long time. So, but thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. All right, we're going to end on this one. Because it's kind of a good follow-up to what I was just talking about. But, dude, Night Owl, Brian, thank you so much for everything. I appreciate it. Let's see. So, Thusi Enthusiast Gaming. How come... Where am I looking at? Because I did highlight it. There it is. So how come or why don't you use a 42 rack, or why don't you have one? I would imagine you would want you would fill it very fast, especially if you have servers and Unify equipment. Yeah, good question. So why don't I have a 42U rack? I thought about it, but my rack is in my basement, and a 42U rack was just a little bit too tall. So just a little bit too tall to get into my server room. So I could have bought and built a 42U rack and put it inside of my server room, but then I would never be able to get it out without taking it apart and breaking it back down and taking it out. So my server room is just this little closet in the basement that I turned into a server room. Who knows what it used to be? The breaker panel used to say sauna, but you know what that means. It probably was not a sauna. Anyways, it looks like a grow room, so I converted it to more of a server room, basically drywall, and cleaned it up a little bit. Ran some better power, ran networking, and installed a whole bunch of stuff. So it's basically my technical room. So all of my stuff is centralized in there. Anything tech goes into there, and it's all centralized and feeds out to the rest of the house. And so I couldn't fit a 42U rack in there. And I was kind of like, in 42U rack, they got a little bit more expensive. I ended up getting a Sysrax server rack, which is a little bit cheaper. Well, it's a lot cheaper than most racks that you buy brand new, and 36U was a lot cheaper than their 42U, and it cleared the header to get in there for the doorway. So anyways, yeah, I considered it, but now I'm moving and swapping things around and wheeling and dealing stuff, trying to sell some stuff and swapping some things in and out. So I'm getting less bigger things and more little things. So it's kind of cool. So swapping out, some 4U stuff for some 1U stuff. So it's pretty fun. So, but yeah, so that's why. Nothing against 42U racks. If you have the space or have a garage or have a basement, yeah, go for it. But for me, I couldn't get it into that room. So I thought 36U was a good fit. And plus mine's a little different. I have a glass front, passive cooling, and active cooling on top. So it's a little bit different than most enterprise ones. It's more geared towards, small business, I would say, or home use, for advanced home users, or for small businesses too. So I like it. Dude, Night Owl Brian, dude, thank you so much. Dude, tier 3, 10 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. Off to work. I'm out of here. All right. I'm going to wrap stuff up too. Yeah, Night Owl Brian is not slowing down. I agree. Man, keep topping yourself off, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, hey, all, thanks so much for joining on a Friday. It's a little bit later than I said I was going to stop, but hey, them's the break. So, I appreciate you being here. Tune in next week on Friday. I don't know if it's going to be 10, 11, 12, 1 Central Time or what. I'm going to look at the analytics and play with it and see what works best for most people. If you have a specific time and it works for you, let me know. If you're here, it probably works for you. So, I don't know why I'm asking people if it works for you since you're here. So, anyways, have a great weekend. I will have something out for you very soon on this rack specifically, this mini rack. It's right there, and we've been talking about it. I just need to wrap up a couple things and wrap up my thoughts and get it out. So I'll have that for you soon. So look for it. Thanks for joining on Twitch. I'll be back here next Friday. Do I have anything going on next Friday? I don't. So I'll be back here next Friday, and I'll be in Discord all day. I'll be on Twitter all the time. So if you have something you want to share or something you need some opinions on, ping me. Let me know. And I will share what this mobile workstation is in Discord because I can't share links here. So anyways, have a good Friday. Have a great weekend and take care. Be good to each other. Take care, folks.